it's BT with the BT Sachsenring GP review. Let's get right to it. How was that German GP? Sehr gut. Sehr gut. Yeah. Let's get right to it. Moto3. Moto3. Ride of the race in Moto3 goes to Scott Ogden. Call me a homie, but Scott Ogden should be a top 10, and he finally got his first top 10. Good for him. He was in the leading battle for the longest. So props to Scott Ogden. He kept it together this week. Props to you. Heartbreak goes to Colin Vieira. 2 weeks in a row, you're my heartbreak. It shouldn't be that way. Like he crashed in the same corner and the same lap as he did last year. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. You know what I'm trying to say. Damn, I can't believe I crashed in the same corner again. Listen, don't get me wrong though. I think Colin Vieira is going to be in the championship fight. Colin Vieira is a big kid. I think he has to go to Moto2 next year. He's going to have to. He's one of them kids where, if he played football, he'd be like, let me see your birth certificate. He's a big kid. I don't know what it is with the Dutch. I mean, they're big. Well, actually, I think in the world, aren't the Dutch the tallest people in the world, like per capita? I mean, average. Anyway, Vieira, he's a great rider. He's the only one I think can keep up with David Alonso. And let me tell you something. I'm gonna get back to Moto3, but David Alonso, what he's doing is incredible. He's going to be, listen, if he keeps this up, they're going to talk about him the same way they talk about Pedro Acosta in Moto3. And I'm going to circle back to Moto3, okay? I'm going to circle back like Dances with Wolves. Check me out. Okay, Moto2. Moto2, heartbreak goes to Celestino Vieira. How do you go from pole to 5th place? And the only reason he got 5th place was because the great ride, that battle for third, that battle for the last step of the podium was the best battle in Moto2. I don't say history, but the best Moto2 race I've seen in a long time, the battle for 3rd place. And that's my problem. You knew that Aldeguer was going to win, and he not even close. So why don't you just show him come across the finish line and bam, go back to the race for 3rd. Anyway, great race by him, but Celestino Vieira, he's my heartbreak. My ride of the race goes to Diego Moreira. Diego Moreira is from Brazil. Here's how I circle back to Moto3. Diego Moreira is from Brazil. David Alonso is from Colombia. Okay, listen. They lost the South American market with Argentina. Why? I have no idea. I think it's politics. Anyway, so why don't you? These guys are going to be stars. I really think so. And I think Marc Marquez has about 3 years left while he's really competitive and he can still win a title. And I think after that, he's not going to hang on. I think he's going to bow out earlier than staying too late, if you know what I mean. He's going to leave the party too early than staying like, oh, you're still here? You know what I mean? So I think the stars, you got to start pumping up the stars right now. Pump that bass. And what they should do is Diego Moreira from Brazil. Who wouldn't want a Brazilian GP? Okay? After that GP, then they go to COTA. Okay, you go to South America, North America. It's a perfect, a dual weekend. It's a no-brainer. You go into Brazil early. Say you find in Brazil on a Wednesday, okay? You get robbed by Wednesday night. You get your money back by Friday afternoon, FP1, okay? And then on that Monday, you either fly to COTA or you stick around in Brazil. You might get robbed again. Who gives a shit? You're gonna go back to COTA anyway by the midweek. It's a no-brainer. I hope Dorna gets on that. So Diego Moreira and David Alonso, both South Americans, they get on it. I think it's a whole nother market. No offense to to the Asian community, but you already have Indonesia, you have the Thai GP, you have Malaysia. You can give up, and you have Japan, Motegi. So it's 4 Asian rounds. No offense, but you can give up one, which I'm sure they're going, really? What if I give up one of them Spanish rounds? Touche. But I think a South American market, work on Brazil right now. I don't know what you got to do. I'm going to tell the UFC to go down there. Maybe you can make it a UFC MotoGP weekend. Who gives a shit? Make it happen. Okay, MotoGP. Listen, my round of the race in MotoGP, it's going to be Marc Marquez, and I'll tell you why. But close was Maverick Vinales, and here's why. Now, Marc Marquez crashed at that big high side he had. He only crashed because, and the only reason he held onto that bike was because his second bike wasn't ready. He knew it wasn't ready. But how is it not ready? That's all you guys do for a living. As my mom would say, my mom used to tell me to clean the kitchen in the summertime. Clean the kitchen. That's all I want you to do, clean the kitchen. So I forget to clean the kitchen, and she come home after work. She goes, did you clean the kitchen? I go, and she goes, I tell you to do one thing, and you can't even do that. And that's what those guys do. They have one thing to do. Let's get the bike ready. They have Moto3, right? That's what, 45 minutes. They have Moto2. That's another 45 minutes. Not counting the 15 minutes in between. And then you have MotoGP. And your second bike isn't ready? What, were you at the German Denny's waiting for your German pancakes? Like, hey, vámonos, vámonos! Vámonos! I don't know why they didn't have the bike ready, but Marquez held on to that bike too long because he knew the second bike wasn't ready. That's why he high-sided, okay? But no offense, Marquez is kind of used to that. I mean, don't get me wrong, you don't get used to going 12 feet in the air and then crashing, but still, he knows about that. Maverick Vinales was a little more curious because Maverick Vinales, if you think about it, tell me the last time Maverick Vinales crashed. I'll wait. Exactly. Vinales really didn't crash. The only time I remember Vinales crashing was in Phillip Island. He and Mark were going at it, and he really went for it, and he crashed on that same turn that Iannone hit the headbutted the Seagull. Remember? That's when Vinales crashed. When he was at Yamaha, he crashed, which means he was pushing. Vinales really didn't crash, so I think that crash affected him more than it did Marquez. They were both hurt, and they both went into Saturday not feeling well, right? By the way, Marquez, he admitted he took a drug cocktail to make him feel better on Saturday and Sunday. I don't know what was in that drug cocktail, but let me tell you something. The street value for that, if he put that on the street, I think we see another Ducati team. Anyway, great job by Marquez. He's my rider of the race, and here's the reason for me. I'm talking out of my ass. The reason Marquez got the podium on Sunday instead of Saturday. For one, he's a little more sore on a Saturday, but he passed Brad Binder. Brad Binder, for some reason, Brad Binder is that dude who's in the passing lane and he goes the speed limit. He goes maybe 5 miles over the speed limit, and you're like, let me pass, and he won't let you pass, and you just get frustrated. And when they finally move over and you go to pass him, he speeds up, and then you go, oh, you son of a bitch. That's what Brad Binder is. He's hard to get around, and then when you finally get around, he wants to fight you. Like, where was this at the whole season, Brad? I love you, but where was this at? I don't know. I mean, you can't pass me. That's the way I feel about it. Anyway, rider of the race goes to Marc Marquez. Heartbreak in MotoGP has to go to Jorge Martin. This is incredible to me. Luca Marini said he saw on the big screen, from the helicopter shot on the big screen, he goes, Martin's braking later than normal, and his dangle, it's all about the dangle, his dangle was a little bit wider than it normally is, and he goes, and then Martin crashed. That's how shitty that Yamaha, that Honda HRC bike is. When your rider is racing, and he looks at the big screen, and he goes, damn, why is he braking later? And he's racing. The only thing missing from that statement was, as I was eating my popcorn, I was watching the big screen going, why is he braking later? I mean, that's what Luca Marini said. He said he watched it on the big screen as he's racing. He goes, Martin is braking later. And his dangle is a little bit wider than normal. He crashed. Makes sense. That bike, Honda's bike, basically is transitioning. It went from a horsepower, it transitioned to a big fat cow. That's what it did. It went from a horsepower, a sleek racehorse, to a big fat cow that goes nowhere. It's always complaining like, my stomach hurts. I don't feel like going fast. And that's what HRC is now. Even Repsol left them. They're like, you know what? You're on your own. I'm out of here. I can't take this shit. So that was my German GP. Like I said, I thought Marc Marquez, the reason Marc Marquez podium was because, well, the drug cocktail that he said, and the fact that he got by Brad Binder. He got by Brad Binder early, which meant he could race. And for some reason, this is typical Marquez. He said when he made contact with Frankie Morbidelli, that lit a fuse. And bam, okay, I could be aggressive. For some reason, that's Marquez. He's like that boxer where, like, you know, like first round they're kind of feeling each other out, and then he gets hit, you go, bam, okay, now we're fighting. And that's what Marquez is. And he said Marquez of old, he's aggressive, and that's why he got that podium. And how great is that? He may have lost the King of the Ring title, but he podiumed with his brother. You can't beat that. That almost makes you want to cry in a way. He podiumed with his brother. Who can say that at the highest levels, you and your brother celebrate a podium together? Damn. Okay, so you got rider of the race goes to Marc Marquez. Great ride by him. Now we go into the break. 3 things during the break, okay? You guys tell me, what's the biggest story during the break? Is it the fall of KTM? It's like, baby, baby, where did KTM go? Not Brad or Jack, it's up to Pedro. I mean, after the first race, like, oh shit, KTM's back. Now the FBI and the marshals can't find KTM. And if I was Pip Byra, I'd be mad too. You're paying him a king's ransom and you can't podium? You got a rookie that's doing better than your two established factory riders? I mean, think about it. KTM comes with a gang. They come with a gang. If you go to a MotoGP paddock, every paddock, I mean, they basically look the same, but KTM has their hospitality. I mean, it looks like a house. It looks like it took a long time to build. And they come with a gang. That orange gang is a gang. And they're all hyped up on Red Bull, and you can't do no better than that? So, listen, is it the fall of KTM? Is it the snake oil salesman that Yamaha did, the Pramac Ducati? How do you talk a team that's fighting for the world title into racing your slow as hell bike? Think about it. Yamaha hadn't done shit, no offense, but the last time Fabio won, I think, was at the Sachsenring. And now you can't find them on a map. You can't find them on Google Maps. And then Fabio's at every press conference going, you know what, who'll be a good teammate? Fabio DG. Oh, also Sergio Garcia. You know what? I think Miguel Oliveira would be a good teammate. Matter of fact, I think BT would be a good teammate, huh? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I think the salesman job that Yamaha did to Pramac Ducati is not to be understated. Pramac Ducati, I mean, I think they went to Pramac Ducati to go, listen, I know you guys are fighting for a world title, but listen, what's more important, a world title or financial security? And he has like 3 Brinks trucks worth of money that just, back into the paddock, and you go, you know what? Yeah, financial security. Get my kid to go to college, and get my kids' kids to go to college, and get my kids' kids' to go to college. A world title, that comes once every 10 years. But get my kid to go to college, that comes once every 10 years. So I think what Yamaha did was incredible, what they did with Pramac Ducati. Or is the big story that Marquez hadn't won yet? I mean, listen, I think it's getting used to the bike, but at the same time, it's like, is there more to it? So is it the big story going to the break? Is it the fall of KTM? Is it the Yamaha sales job, getting Pramac to give up Ducati and go to Yamaha? Or is it that Mark hadn't won yet? And by the way, and this is no diss against Mark, I think Mark's doing a great job. I don't think he's going to win the title this year, but who knows? And anyway, props to Pecco for winning that championship this year. I mean, for getting married. What am I talking about? For getting married over the break. Who does that? But that's Pecco for you, man. 25, he works with his sister, which is kind of like Mark being in the same team as his brother. It's kind of like the same. But also getting married also over the break. So good for him, man. So I just want you want to know what you guys think. And also, you know what? Watch for the coming of Raul Fernandez. Raul Fernandez is getting it. He's getting it. Is he getting it? Come on, Aprilia. So watch out for Raul Fernandez. I think he's getting it. Watching the next part of the second half of the season. I think Silverstone is going to be fucking bonkers. So I can't wait to see what happens. This is going way too long, but I couldn't wait to talk to you guys about this. Anyway, so tell me what you think of those 3, and like I said, watch for the coming of Raul Fernandez. He's finally getting it. Is he getting it? He's getting it. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Enjoy the break, and this week, watch World Superbike in Silverstone. All right? And, in Donington. Watch World Superbike in Donington. So until then, you know the word. Bye.